Alright guys, what we got here is a work in progress. So this is the seat off my zero-turn mower. I've got an X mark, and it's just a hard mount seat. There is no kind of suspension whatsoever. There's that one bump stop, and all that is just to keep the seat from vibrating, I think, on the fuel tank. And that, I believe, actually sits on top of the fuel tank, which is under the seat. So what my plan is to replace those steel spacers there with a neoprene spacer that I bought, or some kind of a rubber spacer. And then I'm also making the seat sets very low on the tractor, and it's difficult to get up out of. So I'm making this 1.5 by 1.5 frame, and then I'll have in the corners these spacers here, and then those will go on top of the seat, and then in the front down below I'll have two more, and then on the back I'll actually have these springs mounted. These will probably be mounted to the seat frame, but I haven't fully worked everything out yet. It's still kind of a plan in progress here, but that's the idea. So I'm going to gain 1.5 inches from the frame itself in height, plus these are 1-inch spacers, but I believe they're actually a little longer than 1 inch. They're probably millimeters, so they're a little longer, because they definitely seem taller than 1 inch. And so I'll have suspension from these springs in the back where you lean back on the seat, but that'll actually keep it leaning slightly forward, I think. And then the seat doesn't tilt on its own either. There's no tilting mechanism built in. So I'm going to work on these bolts right here are what bolted in the back and keep it fixed. So I'm going to see about replacing these bolts with some sort of a quick pin, probably a pin that, like, you push the back and it's got the little ball bearings and you slide it through, and when you release it, it catches. That way I can just reach in, pull those pins out. Those usually have a ring on them, and then I can attach those to the tractor itself with a cable, so that when I do pop them out of there to tilt the seat forward, then I won't lose them. So that's the plan. Gain about 3 to 4 inches in height, maybe even closer to 4.5 in height, and then have all the rubber bushings and the springs around it to give me a little more suspension and cushioning underneath it. They want $300+ for a suspension seat frame, and they want over $600 for the seat and the frame all combined from Exmark. So if I can do this, this will give me just a little bit more cushioning underneath and make it easier to get up on and off with my old knees. So, all right, there's where I'm at on that project so far. I'll be using the prime weld 210 to do the welding, to TIG weld on the stainless, and then of course I've got my Grizzly drill press here to drill all the holes that I need to drill and everything. These will get fender washers on the inside, so that when the bolt comes through, it'll attach to this smaller piece. And those probably will set like this, maybe on the tractor frame itself, and then this frame will come down on top of them, or the plate at the back of the tractor will come down on top. I'm not entirely sure yet. Like I said, a lot of these projects I kind of get a rough idea on paper, and then it just develops as I go along. So there you go, guys. I'll keep you updated.